Hello, good day everybody, and welcome to our channel. So today I've got some interesting, let's call it my experience with you to share with you again. This time around we went back to Jandre from the Audio Video Boutique, and remember he represents Ascendo in South Africa, so he's the distributor in Sub-Saharan Africa. And again, Jandre really showcased what the Ascendo Immersive Audio can do, and this time around it was slightly different. Remember last time we actually had it in a stereo type of configuration, so it was the two live 15s with the 24-inch sub. And then of course he used the internal amplification of the live 15s, and then of course also the internal amplification of the big sub, the 24-inch sub. This time around he changed the configuration into more of a home cinema setup, so he still used the two live 15s for the left and right channel. Then for the center channel he used the CCRM 12 active unit, so this is the same 12-inch coaxial drive unit that they use in the live 15s, which he then also combined with the SSMG 24-inch subwoofer, and then at the backs he actually used the CCRM 6 passives, which is the smallest, let's call it scale loudspeaker, but they still use the coaxial drive. There they use basically a 6.5-inch driver with a 1-inch compression driver integrated into the, let's call it the coil of the loudspeaker of the 6.5-inch driver. So it's basically was a 5, let's call it my 5.3 system setup. The reason why I say .3 is he actually used the two live 15s, and he actually configured the subwoofers on external amplification, which he of course he used the let's call it a new amplifier that I haven't seen from Ascendo yet on their website, but I've seen it at the demo, and this unit is actually called the Ascendo 86400. So this unit has got 8 channels of 400 watts RMS, and of course here Jandre used that unit to basically drive the two subwoofers in the live 15s from the processor to basically use it as an LFE channel, and then of course he also used the power amplifier to drive the two surround speakers, the CCRM 6Ps, the passive speakers. The CCRM 12 is actually an active unit, and they use the internal amplification, and of course the subwoofer has also got its own internal amplification and quite serious amplifier amplification up to 6 kilowatts. So this was basically the system from a Ascendo perspective. Then Jandre used the Accurus Muse pre-amplifier processor to drive all the channels, and of course he used the DSP functions of the Ascendo live 15s to ensure clean, let's call it my clean or flat frequency response, together with the subwoofer to ensure that the subwoofer also has a good in-room frequency response, or let's call it my usable frequency response. So if you look at all of these things combined, what was the outcome? Look, I can say very impressive again. Each time I get a demo from Ascendo, irrespective now if it's stereo or home cinema surround, it was really awesome. And this time around again, we enjoyed it. We played a variety of content, and look, I think that the setup in Jandre's room there is really a, let's call it my worst case scenario, because the subwoofer were placed against the wall, but in in such a position that you think it won't produce the best results, but because of the space limitation and how you can set up the configure, that was the only area that he can deploy such a large subwoofer. But because of the advanced DSP that is available within the Ascendo products, we actually got a very good performance. Okay, so welcome, Teresa. Yes, yeah. So of course, the audio couple, we went together to experience the demo at John Ray's let's call it home cinema facility, and yes, all in all, it was very pleasurable experience. John Ray had, like I stated, he had some good demo material. One that was quite extraordinary that I remember, it was the scene from a movie called Unbroken. And this was the Bombay Doors scene. Look, it was full of action, of course, but very good camera work, incredible audio. How they actually captured the scene from the bomber. There was actually a bomber aircraft. Yes, of course, there was an issue with the Bombay Doors, if I remembered correctly. But while this scene was taking place, there was some huge caliber, let's call it artillery, fired at this aircraft. And the reproduction of the, that artillery fire was just mind-boggling. It definitely transcended you into the movie. You felt part of the movie. You actually felt, the whole experience firsthand. It felt like you were actually part of.
You remember, it feels like if the cheese going like this.
Yeah, it was a physical experience. Yeah. So what Teresa's actually trying to say is that we experienced it. Yeah. It was a physical experience, and I know my son. I also took my son, and he said that it's quite serious, And I told him, and I confirmed. I told after the scene, I actually told people that look, if you really want to see. What war is like, go and see that scene for yourself. I think that war, a lot of people talk easily about war, and we want to go to war, and we are happy with things as things are in the world, and but I don't think war is always the answer, and this movie actually reiterates that. What I mean is that you can actually get a feeling of what war is like, and especially for the people that is at the cold face, if we can say it, frontline people in war situation, what they actually go through, and these guys were brave, they were very brave, and they took it on. But you guys can see that the impact that let's call it the immersive audio had on us was made the scene so much more real. And this is why you've got this home cinema systems, is to recreate these type of scenes in the movies and make it real. And I must say, definitely, it was real. And it was basically this audio equipment, audio video equipment. But I would say, yes, a lot was that you can observe visually, but the sound actually behind the visual experience made it so much real. And like Teresa explained, it was very physical. When the bombs detonated in the air, close to the plane, this bomber plane, it definitely felt real. And then you realized, look, it's serious. But anyway, then
remember, John Ray played a song of Lady Gaga. I can't remember what was the name.
Oh yes, Lady Gaga. Quite a nice scene, exceptional recording. Look, I think most of Lady Gaga's recordings are quite good, from my perspective. But this specific one was a tribute, a concert to Carole King, and the cut was basically "You've Got a Friend" from Lady Gaga, and first rate also, production. But the audio is also captured very well, especially her voice, And what John Ray also mentioned is that listen to the dynamics in her voice. And definitely it came through, even in a cinemas type of setup of the Ascendo, it came through, and excellent choice there, John Ray. It was a good piece of to actually judge the audio quality. So yes, again, I think that hats off to these guys from Ascendo, but also to John Ray to set it up in such a, let's call it, worst case scenario at his home. But because of advanced digital signal processing and actually the product, just the engineering behind the product, the Ascendo products, you could actually recreate the movie scenes first rate. And then, which is for me, it's always a more difficult part to get right, is the audio reproduction, because your ear quickly will let's call it differentiate between when an instrument sounds correct or natural versus unnatural. So that's why I say I always, when a system is set up, I tend to listen more to music, because your ears very can't be fooled. Instruments should sound accurate, instruments, especially instruments, and then of course voices as well. So if you get these two right, if they sound natural and that they reverb, sound like they reverb naturally in a space, then they are well represented, let's call it, or reproduced. And this is what the Ascendo system did. It reproduced it, and it made it real. And that's why they talk about these immersive sound from Ascendo. But in short, that's it. Yes, we had a good experience, and that's it. And like you can clearly see from both the comments from my wife, from Genre, and from my son, it was a physical, it was a real experience. And that's what we call immersive audio. But that's us then, guys. The audio couple, Nimrod and Teresa, signing off. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of our videos, please subscribe. This is us then, Nimrod and Teresa, signing off. Thanks for your support. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Cheers.